Good morning. It's 10:30 a.m. and time for Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television with me, Audrey Zatsa. The situation in the restive regions of the country remains tense with continuous violence and targeted attacks. The latest is the assassination of the regional delegate for penitentiary for the Northwest, General Kiga Theodore, by suspected separatist fighters in Bui Division on April 12, 2022. According to sources in Bamenda, he was killed alongside three of his staff with whom he was moving on his way back from Kambe. While claiming responsibility, separatist militia Bui unit warriors in a video brandished arms and a white Hilux which they confiscated after carrying out the attack. General Theodore and the three warders were on their way back to Bamenda from Kambe after commissioning the new superintendent of Nkambe Principal Prison. Two unidentified corpses have been retrieved by the military at the Mamfe main motor park. According to locals, the two dead bodies were retrieved after separatist fighters in Fumi, Kebong area were involved in a gun battle with military. It is alleged that they engaged the military after mounting their usual roadblock in the area. A faction from another separatist group is said to have attacked the convoy of the divisional officer at Nchang village. The remains of a gendarme was pulled out in one of the rivers in Logon Berni in the far north region recently. The gendarme, who was in active service in the town of Kuseri, according to sources, dived into the water, and that was all about him. A baby chimpanzee is currently receiving medical assistance after being rescued by eco-guards from the hands of a poacher at the Bakosi National Park in the southwest region of the country. These protectors of biodiversity in the country have pledged to keep an eye on the chimpanzees and other protected animal species illegally hunted by poachers to near extinction. Cameroon's Minister of Defense, Joseph Betia Somo, has identified 39 illegal checkpoints on the Douala-Marwa highway. Out of the 66 security controls in the stretch of road, just 27 were found legal, and the rest are not recognized by the state. In a written letter signed recently addressed to the MINAT, the minister has requested that the 39 fake checkpoints be demolished so as to ease transportation between these two regions. The president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, has met with the Secondary Education Minister, Professor Pauline Nalova-Lyunga, to discuss Cameroon's participation in the Pan-African Football Tournament for secondary schools as part of his mission to make football great again in the country. This was yesterday, April 12, 2022. Samuel Eto'o was equally received in audience on the same day by the Director General of CNPS, Olivier Mekulu Mvodo. The objective to concretize his vision for all local league players to get registered with the Social Insurance Fund. The recurrence of child rape in Cameroon is becoming unbearable for parents with an urgent need for child protection and surveillance. Eileen Sama met with a medical practitioner seeking solutions for survivors. Her report.
Child abuse, molestation or rape has become commonplace in today's modern society, with children of barely few months old being sexually assaulted as well. The prevalence rate of child abuse is at an alarming rate in Cameroon involving both sexes. Dr. Beckham Tabe highlights.
So when we talk about sexual child abuse, which is rape, it is a whole spectrum which ranges from inappropriate words, inappropriate touches, to penetration of the survivor. And its prevalence is increasing these days. We see it both in females and in male children as well. And these children can be affected both physically and psychologically.
The consequences of child rape or abuse is quite detrimental to the health of the survivor, who usually contracts STDs at such tender age.
So physically, just from the act of raping, we can have bruises on the genital areas. We can have tears around the genital tract. We could also have a risk, there's also a risk of unwanted pregnancies. And these children can contract sexually transmitted infections such as HIV, such as syphilis or chlamydia. So when we receive survivors with this, we take into consideration all of this.
Also, much psychological damage is caused to the survivor, requesting therapy and follow-up.
Psychologically, it is very important to do a step-by-step follow-up of these survivors because there are many things which can come into play because of the rape. The main one is what we call post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a situation in which the victim plays the incident of rape over and over in their mind. They have recurrent flashbacks of what happened to them. And we could also see an avoidance character. So they would refuse to talk about anything which makes them remember or feel whatever it was that happened during the incidents. They could have sleep disorders. They can have a feeling of guilt in some of the children. They'll feel like it's their fault. They'll have a feeling of guilt, feeling filthy.
However, Dr. Bechem Tabe recommends counseling as a way forward.
It's important for us to do counseling of these patients, of these survivors, So we do counseling, we do rendezvous from time to time, and it takes a whole period of time to help them come back to ground zero. You know, children, they have the building blocks of whatever will be the adult of tomorrow. So the building blocks which are being set now, we need to fix it properly with our counseling in order for them to have a proper opinion in future.
It is worth mentioning that in Cameroon, watchdog organizations say about 40% of school-going children are sexually abused, with at least 3 out of 10 children raped on a weekly basis.
Cameroonian filmmaker Kan Kintus is facing criticisms about a statement made about the Cameroonian film industry in a movie premiere recently. Nora Kakebi tells us more.
Renowned Cameroon filmmaker and actor Kan Kintus has faced serious backlash on various social media platforms since Saturday after a movie premiere. The actor has been heavily criticized for his utterances in which he said, "What the Cameroonian film industry needs is collaboration and not support from the Nigerian film industry."
No, there's no misunderstanding. I have a lot of respect for my brother. He's done a lot for Africa and you, sir. But I'm saying that as an industry, I will not sit somewhere and see our hard work as an industry we put down the drain. Because I know how much we put in as an industry. You know, collaboration is about mutual respect. We need Nigeria, Nigeria needs us. We need Hollywood, Hollywood needs us. So it's about mutual respect. So I just want to say that the reason I disagree, we need Hollywood, sir. We do. We do. If you say we don't need Hollywood, I will say we don't need Nollywood. Yes, we need Hollywood because they do better than we do. So it's a constructive debate.
His utterance did not go down well with many Cameroonians who took to social media to drag the filmmaker, calling him disrespectful, arrogant, and proud. The Cameroon film industry has issued a communique distancing itself from the filmmaker's expressions. On the other hand, the movie guru argued that his pronouncements on Saturday at the premiere of Bambozla was his own way of defending the local film industry from being disrespected, not only by the Nigerian film industry, but any other foreigner. He added that, contrary to what most social media users and critics say, he is simply demonstrating a sense of patriotism. According to him, being patriotic requires one to defend the country's image by all means. Despite the heavy criticisms from several Cameroonians, many others still think the actor was simply honest with his expressions and was bold enough to defend the image of the Cameroonian film industry. According to a Facebook user, the Cameroon entertainment industry has been living with a low self-esteem over the years, and it is about time the narrative changes.
In the West region, city dwellers, especially lovers of mushroom, have been rushing to get theirs in local markets. In the town of Bafoussam, the streets are quite busy as consumers battle to get the rare seasonal vegetable mushroom. Fon Quinta tells us more.
Packed with a ton of essential vitamins and minerals, mushrooms are beginning to find its way amongst commonly consumed vegetables in the West region of Cameroon. Considering that mushrooms are seasonal, and it is not every day city dwellers find on the streets of Bafoussam and other parts of the region, they rush to get a taste of it, though still very expensive. I had a strong desire since, so I decided to come today and get some. It's something that I love so much, but it's still very expensive. A plate of mushroom is 2,500, 2,000 and 1,000 francs. Low in calories and fat, these vendors say mushrooms are readily available in the months of March and April.
Les champignons commencent toujours au mois de mai, au début des pluies. Quand les pluies commencent, c'est là où les champignons commencent aussi.
Mushrooms begin in the month of March. When it rains, mushrooms are out for a period of 2 months. We go to local markets and buy to come and sell in Bafoussam, some coming from Fumbot and others Buda.
À Buda, on parle au niveau de Galim là, on paye pour revenir sur Bafoussam vendre.
Madame Sansang, a nurse in Bafoussam, highlights the nutritional and health benefits of mushrooms.
Les champignons sont très riches, calcium, magnésium.
Mushrooms are very rich. It has calcium, magnesium, protein. It's a source of energy. Mushrooms replaces meat completely. It doesn't have cholesterol. It protects organs, including the heart.
Protecteur pour l'organisme, pour le cœur.
Because of its rich nutritional values and benefits to humans, health experts say eating mushrooms regularly can help to reduce the risk of neurological illnesses.
And out of the country, a new death toll was reported Tuesday evening in South Africa, which is facing floods caused by several days of heavy rains on the east coast. According to local authorities, at least 60 people have now perished in the KwaZulu-Natal province in the southeast. Torrents are said to have cut off many roads, collapsed houses and bridges, submerged cars, and stockpiles of containers have been floating, including the province's largest city, Durban. South Africa's army has been deployed to participate in rescue operations as residents, including school children, were reportedly trapped for several hours because of the rising waters. That was it for today's edition, produced by Junior Pelama, assisted by Marius Jamel and Romeo Chinda. You'll get many more stories on 3:30 p.m. Prime Info with Gladys Bomotongina and at 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinta. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Sama and her ladies. Have a nice time.